Right.
That was to make sure that everything that went on stayed transparent for everyone, and that if there was a problem on the floor and we observed it, then we were able to go to our the Senate attorney, Brian Blem, and then he would render a decision right then on the floor. He and I worked hand in fist together the whole time. So what we did is that as I started pointing this out, we were then looking at this and making note of what was taking place. So that now when we look at this and what was discussed there in the hearing, we have the fake ballots, okay? Those ballots
I saw.
there. And again, we go right back to if you had $1,000.
200 of them fake. Well, it's not the $1,000.
And we don't know who it is. We don't know, and it doesn't matter which.
So do you think Mr. Mark Abramovich, the AG, will figure it out? Or is it going to take long?
Yes. So it's turned over to him. He's now going to continue the investigation. He's going to find out. What Ken Bennett did is he, as a former Secretary of State, he then went over all the statutes that were broken.
Nice.
So there's criminal intent that's there and what they've done. So what we now need to do is have him turn around and investigate and then find the names of the people. Now, a lot of this was redacted because we didn't want to release it in the hearing. The names have been redacted, but those names have been given
you have to hold them
to the AG, and now he's going to investigate. That's right.
Well, that was nice that they did that.
Right.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit with you.
Okay.
I know you're not in office, you're running for office.
Correct.
But you're privy to all these people around you, so obviously you might have an opinion. How are we going to restore, I know that question everybody asks, but everybody answers it differently. How you restore faith in our voting system for people in Arizona to go back and vote? Because most of them asking me, my vote don't count. They misunderstood what the electoral does. They say, they do collectives. If they have 500, 200, they still go. When they saw what Mike Pence did, how he certified what he shouldn't have certified. A lot of people didn't understand that due process.
Right.
Can you elaborate from your experience on it? Because I think you're overqualified sometimes. That's why I ask you these questions. I'm sorry.
Part of this is that when we look at this, and we see that this was certified, we know that Katie Hobbs and Doug Ducey knew this. We were the only state that stood up and objected to our 11 electoral votes.
That's what I want to know.
Paul Gosar stood up.
Yes, I remember this. Like yesterday.
We had gutless, and I will say it again. We had gutless senators.
Ooh.
They did not have the guts to stand up beside Paul and reject it. We had to go to Texas to Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz had to sign that, and so you have to have a congressman and a senator to object that. So that's what we had to do. This is why it's also very important that we get a senator that's running against Mark Kelly. We need to make sure that he is not allowed to stay in that seat because he will not vote or anything for America.
So that's very imperative if you could reiterate this, regarding Mark Kelly. So it's not only just about Democrat, it's also the policy.
The policies that are in place. So the thing is that if we are truly people, men and women of God, and we have a moral compass, which means that I should do no harm at all to you, George, that you should be the same or better by coming in contact with me. I took a Hippocratic oath, 35 years in medicine, sports medicine, and when everybody came in contact with me, when they left, they were always better than when I found them. That's what we want. Now, if you're going to vote, which Kelly has already done, he has already voted that he wants masks and he wants the vaccines, yet it's really funny when the cameras are off. See, the camera's on right now. I have no mask. But when the cameras are off, he doesn't have a mask. But when they come on, the cameras come on, and it's the propaganda.
The propaganda you saw, I saw,
All right. Well, then they put on their mask and they do their dog and pony show.
Right.
We need to have good men and women that are going to be the same today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Same.
Just the way that God is with us. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Right.
And we need to have people with a moral compass that will literally sit down and do what is right before God and man.
Well, this is one. I know you're running for office. I know. Did you have a new website, or is it the same old?
It's the same one. It's www.jeffzink, that's ZINK, the number 4 Congress.com. You can go to my.
It's FOR, right? 4?
No, it's the number 4.
See, that's what I mean. Okay.
Yeah, it's the number 4. And then what you do is you go to Take a Stand page. It's got it there. You click on it, and you see what I stand for. And then more importantly, you need to go to my donation page. I need as much money as I possibly can because in 3 entities, my American Last Agenda Democrat,
right.
He received $600,000 from Clinton Foundation, $600,000 from George Soros, and $600,000 from Planned Parenthood. How is it that a practicing Catholic can take money from somebody who murders babies? There's a reason why I have.
And I always wondered how they donate money while they also live on donations.
Well,
it's always like a mind-boggling.
Well, because what they do is they get donations from the people,
and the
government.
Then
and what they do is that goes directly
but the government
to the
also
Democratic
gives them whole
Party.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we're trying to do right now is we're trying to establish. So, for myself, what I want to do, I want to make sure that the people are actually held accountable, and if we can hold them accountable, that's Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff. These people are lifetime, politicians. We need to stop that. We need to have term limits. We need to actually have something where people can come in. Our founding fathers turned around and stated very clearly, you were to go to Congress and you were to sit down and literally work for the federal government, then you were to go home and go to work and not be on the salary your entire lifetime. That was never the intent.
Well, we're going to have to end this conversation because the missus is waiting for you.
Absolutely.
She gave me the cut. I'm going to say it on TV. She went like, because I know it's getting late. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Maap Real Talk Show. That was late. This is Maap Real Talk Show. You could get in on the picture with your husband here. This is Maap Real Talk Show with you guys. I know you don't see me. It's more important that you see them. Maap Real Talk Show here. We at the Capitol. What's the occasion today? You didn't mention today earlier.
This was a J6 rally, and this is about the prisoners being held in the Capitol and across the United States. The reason why I'm speaking is because I'm the father of Ryan Zink. He is facing 47 years in federal penitentiary for doing absolutely nothing, and we need to have people stand up and do what is right, and because he is silenced, he's under a gag order, he can't say anything, but for me, I will not be silent. I will not bow down to this administration. I will face everybody and take them on, and I'm speaking for all the prisoners there in D.C.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. And I'm sorry about the noise behind us because we have the crowd. They've been talking all day. So FYI, that was like overwhelming. I want to thank you, Stephanie, for everything that you do. I brought you in to get you in trouble, but it didn't work because I thought it would be funny, but it didn't. God loves you too much. So it didn't work out. Ladies and gentlemen, Maap Real Talk Show. I'm always honored to speak with this gentleman, Jeff Zink, and of course, Stephanie. At the end of the day, they're trying to help the country, and that's why I'm so proud of them. It's not about one person or two, it's collective. It's about everybody, Democrat or Republican or whoever you are as an American walking on this earth. This man is it, as Christian as an apple pie, American apple pie. And I'm proud of the stuff that he's done and he's worked hard towards, visiting the border, visiting with the needy, going after everything. He went out of his way at 4 o'clock in the morning to do. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, he was entrenched in the audit daily. Nobody even knew. Like if I was running for office, I'd be like, hey guys, I'm running for office. He didn't say a word. He was a mum throughout the whole process. And I couldn't even get one info, not one interview. Nothing from him for like 2 months, 2.5 months, I think it was.
It's more full.
So I was there every day, but there was days they didn't let me in, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another story. So they always like, your name is not on the list. Like I said, how could it be on the list? How can I not be on the list? You know, I'm joking. You know, like, but you know, it's, you know, who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm honored that they all let me in, and I did my job. But I'm honored of you because of what you've done in silence. And I had to mention it today because we're already on the second video now. I just want you to know from a